years ago, I thought that Toastmasters was all about individual self growth, individual success. But fast forward to 4 years, now that I'm sitting in front of you talking to you, I realize that I am completely wrong. Toastmasters is all about collectivism. We come together and we work towards a common goal. Behind the success of each and every Toastmasters, there is a village of other Toastmasters who have created that champion. And that is a major lesson that I've learned since this past 4 years. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests. My name is Toastmaster Nida Sadiq, and I will be the Sergeant at Arms along with the timer for today. And welcome to the District 127's combined meetings and open house panel discussion. This is an initiative by the club growth team of the District 127, and I would like to give a round of applause for all the club growth team members who work toward to achieve this initiative. Now, before we proceed, please turn off your cell phone or set them in silent mode and mute your screens while speeches are going on, or preferably turn off your videos for better bandwidth for the speakers. Avoid joining the online meeting while driving. If you get a fine or a penalty from the Dubai police, please don't blame any of us. Bear it on your own. That is your own consequence. When you show eye contact with the camera, it is equivalent to eye contact with the audience. So please switch on your videos and show maximum support to all the panelists who are here today to enlighten you. Now, certain taboo topics like politics, religion, and sex shouldn't be discussed here. Now, if you have any concerns regarding the vocal variety or online glitches, please feel free to approach through the chat window or message Dr. Muniba directly. Now, before I introduce the next person, I would like to tell a story about this person. About 5 months ago, I think 5 or 6 months ago, I was stuck in a phase where I felt very disconnected from Toastmasters. I felt so disconnected to a point that I didn't even want to show up for my own home club's meetings. And I thought to myself, what is the reason that I feel disconnected from Toastmasters? But I couldn't find any reason. I just felt like it wasn't contributing to my personal success and my personal growth anymore. And I almost wanted to quit, and I was almost about to quit Toastmasters. I was about to tell all my members that I'm not going to show up for meetings anymore. And just like that, just like a God sent angel came up to me and said, he called me up and he asked me, "Hey, Nida, do you want to be a part of the district club growth team?" And I said, okay, but I wasn't too interested back then as well. I said, okay, because I didn't have anything to lose. And after I joined, believe it or not, fellow Toastmasters, the amount of opportunities that I got, the amount of people that I got to meet, the experiences that I got to experience through that one chance, it was endless. And just like that, I became a part of another club. I got other opportunities, leadership opportunities within the area level as well. So it was just one opportunities that changed my life throughout this entire journey. So that is how Toastmasters work. We stand together as a team and we stick with each other and we make sure that every single one of us succeed. So now I'm going to introduce the club growth director of District 127. He is an orthopedic surgeon. He is an orthopedic surgeon and I am a master's student. I'm a master's student. I still cannot find time for Toastmasters, but he is a full-time doctor and he's committing all of his time for Toastmasters. So he is that dedicated towards this fraternity. He's that dedicated to helping people and uplifting people. He was the past Division I director and he was the area director of Area 31, I guess, right? I guess so. Correct me if I'm wrong. And I met him while he was the division director. So I'm not going to exaggerate my introduction about him much longer because everyone who's sitting in this audience knows who he is. So without much introduction, I'm going to invite DTM Dr. Abdul Sattar to the platform. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Nida. That is a lot of introduction from your side and a lot of inspirations that you shared with us. Thank you for joining the club growth team of District 127. I'm very happy to be here to share with you that District 127 Club Growth Team. This is the third CGD event, actually the third online event. And we already did the Leadership Conclave, Smedley Award distribution during the Leadership Conclave last week. I would like to share a picture from that, and then we can proceed. The senior leaders and all the award winners were appreciated during the conclave. And already we have released many awards. The first Honor Club Area Division Awards. The Brave, that's a one-time award. Braveheart BPM of the Month Award, which is a monthly award. Vanguard Club Award, that is a monthly award. We have already released the past months. Then the coming months will be released soon. We have released more than 20 Smedley Awards, Stellar Open House Awards, few of them. And also the coming up soon is a Magnificent Award. Smedley is still running. Stellar Open House is always running. And please make sure that each one of your club meets these awards so that you can achieve the next level of your club's quality. We already assigned, in the process of assigning club coaches for almost 15 clubs. And when we talk about open houses, which is our main topic today, we've done a Division D combined open house of 15 clubs in Division D. CMA Toastmasters, UAE Ladies, TGIS have done. These are the few clubs which has done. A few of the clubs which has done open house. Many other clubs have done, and so many other clubs have proposed the open houses. Let me tell you, I want to share with you one of the pictures which happened, which we took about a few years back. We were 4 area directors. We could have done separately everything individually. We don't have to do it together. But we realized that when we do it together, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of results. It's a lot of good things coming on our way. Far better than what we do it alone. To invite you to this open house, I'm very happy that we have a very expert panel of experts telling us about how to conduct an open house, how you can make it better, how you can take advantage of this session to make your open house more productive. Before we move on, I would like to invite our district director, DTM Deepa. You still there?
Yes, I'm outside actually.
Yeah, can you share a few words? May I invite the district director to share a few words of wisdom with us before we actually jump into the session?
Thank you, Dr. Abdul Sattar, our Club Growth Director, and the entire Club Growth team. It is a nice initiative from District CG team, and we really appreciate that. And this is really helpful for all the clubs, because majority of the clubs, some post-pandemic era, we are not aware how beautiful or successful open house can be conducted. And olden days, we used to have a lot of fun and a lot of education sessions incorporated in the open house when we are conducting open houses. But during the pandemic time, all the essence, most of the essence was lost. And now when you are initiating this, education, the awareness session, it is really going to help all the clubs understand how we are going to conduct a session. And I'm really sure that we are going to get beautiful results and positive results for the entire District 1 to 7. And at this moment, if you look at how we are going ahead with all the members' support and everybody standing together to get a beautiful result for our district and for the members as well. When members are striving or thriving, and when they are getting their objectives or the dreams fulfilled, the clubs are successful. Clubs are becoming successful. So this beautiful platform, the education curriculum of Toastmasters, a successful stories of members, all these have to be shared during the open houses, and I'm sure that you people are sharing how we can make it more member oriented and then involved by the members to get a beautiful result. So I wish all the very best for this beautiful panel discussion. We have all the seniors sitting over here in the panel. That is attracted me to come over here. And I'm sure more people will join in the due course of time. All the very best to all of you. Thank you very much. Back to our Club Growth Director, Distinguished Toastmasters, Dr. Sattar.
And thank you, DTM Deepa, for your kind words. with me, let me officially say that honorable dignitaries, district directors, district officers, area directors, DTMs, my dear friends and fellow Toastmasters, wish you all a wonderful evening and welcome to this session of this panel discussion session. To take this session forward, I have to invite someone very special who is in Toastmasters since 8 years, joined as the member of Malayalam Toastmasters Club in Muscat, worked in Oman 18 years and UAE since 5 years. His hobbies are listening to music, cycling and swimming. He is from Cochin, Kerala, an active member of 2 clubs currently, Dubai, Tamil, Malayalam, and St. Francis Assisi Toastmasters. He is part of the assistant quality club chair, district CGD team of this year, and with many other roles in DTAG that he has taken up. He is a very active person in Toastmasters. With these words of appreciation, let me invite the panel moderator of this session, none other than DTM Shaji Maniampally, with a big round of applause. Over to you, DTM Shaji.
Thank you so much, DTM Abdul Sattar, for that beautiful introduction. Respected District Director DTM Deepa and all the district dignitaries and my dear fellow Toastmasters and guests. Welcome to this beautiful session of, I can say, a panel of beautiful people to share a valuable information that we come across as challenges and opportunities to conduct open house and the combined meetings. And here today we have 4 panelists. We have DTM Ramesh Menon, Toastmaster Samir GP. We have DTM Vinod Panikar, and we have Toastmaster Sudhir Kunnad. Before we begin, I just wanted to share my thought. We all have visions, but our visions may not change the world. But to put together, we can do a lot of things. So to begin on, I have my first question to DTM Ramesh Menon. He is a very senior Toastmaster and held various leadership roles at club, area, division, and district level over the past 23 years in Toastmasters. He has a passion of supporting all weak clubs to sustain and promote individuals as best communicators and leaders. And he prefers to be a servant leader as a good gesture towards Toastmaster fraternity. So my question to DTM Ramesh Menon is, what is the primary goal of hosting an open house for a Toastmaster club? DTM Ramesh Menon.
Thank you, DTM Shaji. First of all, congratulations to the club growth team of District 127 under the leadership of CGD Dr. Abdul Sattar for hosting this event. And it is a time-tested event that we all are looking forward to create and more members into Toastmasters, bring more members into Toastmasters, and bring more clubs to the districts. The importance of open house. Charity begins at home. And I appreciate the district club growth team come forward this open house as a remarkable step forward for other clubs to follow and bring Toastmasters into the community that deserving to be one of the members of this fraternity. Recent past, we have gone through a very tricky situation because of the COVID that we had, the pandemic we had. We, frankly speaking, were growing from growth to growth, having added tremendous members, almost 16,500 members we had pre-pandemic, and around 360 clubs we had. And because of the pandemic situation, subsequent job cuts and all, many members had to either replace themselves from the place they were members or got redundant from the stability they had. And in that situation, many clubs has got under numbers and got to hold on their sustainability. Now, this is the time that we are going to regain the power of Toastmasters to be shared to the youngsters, the needy people, and the open house like this definitely get into that communication penetrated to the community as around us, and the initiation taken by the clubs after listening to this will be a great deal of important for giving an opportunity for individuals to become greater communicators and leaders. See, house is always called that good senior members with a lot of potential and information they have. It will become only it kept open to receive new guests to understand what is the importance of unity in diversity that we inculcate in a house. Will definitely go to the society once they come, enjoy what you are doing, and what the culture, the tradition that we follow, all will be inculcated when they come, see what unitedly we do. So does is the open house in a Toastmaster fraternity. We have a structure of meetings, and we do that kind of meetings, which can definitely give individual, empowering them to be a communicators and leaders. And this type of open house by the clubs, if they do, excellent. I think all sort of that we must support them, and we must encourage them to do that open house as much as possible. And this particular event hosted by the district itself is like a leader showing the way, who knows the way, goes the way, shows the way. So appreciate the leadership of Club Growth, District 127, and the team that you put up this great show as a beginning to the many things, good things that is happening to the chef. You are muted, DTM Shaji.
Thank you, DTM Ramesh. Let's move on with our next question. That is to Toastmaster Samir GP. And Samir GP, he is the creator of Clarity Game, author of Awesome Cup, Awesome Planner, host of Awesome, Walker's podcast, and a member of Toastmasters since 2014. Home club is TGIS. And he was the past president of Podcasters Club, past assistant district of PQD and CGD, past assistant district TLI chair as well. My next question to Toastmaster Samir GP is, how do you make open house meetings welcoming to guests and potential new members?
Thank you, Shaji, for the question. How do we make open houses inviting? It happens before the meeting and not during the meeting. And therefore, it is about how we promote what we set as agenda, what we set as the key metrics. There's always a question that I know Vinod asks, what is the key outcome that you're looking for from this event? And this is a question that we have to ask ourselves when we set an open house as an agenda for the club. What is the key outcome? And if the key outcome is to have more members joining in the club, then the question we have to ask ourselves is, what are we doing to invite more members? What are we doing to attract more new potentials and prospects? And I think if we answer those questions, we'll find our answers in how we can make our meetings more interesting, how we can attract, how we can ask our current members to invite their family and friends into these meetings. Basically, one question that we have to ask ourselves is what's in it for them. And if we can answer that, then we'll definitely make our open houses interesting. Back to you. You're on mute, so you might want to unmute.
Thank you, Toastmaster Samir GP. Now, next question is to DTM Vinod Panikkar. And to DTM Vinod Panikkar, he's as a professional, he is a head of sales and joined Toastmasters from 2015. And he was the past Division B director, past president, VP membership and current VP PR of Take Debate Club. And my next question to DTM Vinod Panikar is, what roles do experienced members play in open house events? DTM Vinod.
Thank you, Shaji. What role does experienced member play? Now, before answering this, let me frame two statements over here so that we all, like, I look at those statements every time. The first is what Dr. Ralph C. Smedley had said, that Toastmasters is a laboratory where we conduct public speaking experiments and leadership experiments. And the second one is Toastmasters is a means to an end. And the end is real life outside Toastmasters, basically. So I always tell this to everyone wherever I go. If you have this in mind, then it is very easy to make sure to tell your experienced members to involve in all this thing. Now, what can experienced members do is, experienced members can create enthusiasm in the club, because a new member will not have much idea about what an open house is. We hear this word only during, I think in colleges and all over here, they have an open house day and all these things. But what is an open house? So as DTM Ramesh rightly is mentioned, Toastmaster says our purpose is very clear. Why do you keep an open house? To introduce Toastmasters to non-Toastmasters, period. That's it. And invite them in a single word statement. So how can experienced member help is, experienced members can create committees or groups and create enthusiasm. And we have done this. Once we had open house, they had invited me to be the chairperson or mentor to do all this thing. I said, no, I can drive it, but I need some few senior members from your club who will have a committee of 2-3 people and they will take on task. So once experienced members start doing this and the new members look up to these experienced members, they will also start doing the same thing. They would like to be part of it. So I like to say that whenever you are doing an open house, make sure that you have 3 things: skill, will, and chill. So the first thing is, do it to learn the skills that is required to organize an event. The will is where I want more members in my club. I want to spread this great secret. My mentor DTM Uma always said, Toastmasters is the best kept secret in the world. Spread this secret to everyone, as much as people as possible. And once the event happens, then chill. So use this for all the experienced members and new members. But experienced members can definitely be part of, head the committees and involve the new members over there. Thank you, and back to you.
Thank you, DTM Vinod, for sharing that valuable inputs. My next question is to Toastmaster Sudhir Kunnat. And Toastmaster Sudhir joined Toastmasters from 2016 onwards. And he was the past Division F director, and he is a Gavel Club counselor. He is in the shipping industry and has handled various other leadership roles in his Toastmasters journey. And my question to Toastmaster Sudhir is, what are the advantages of inviting guest speakers to open house events? Toastmaster Sudhir.
Thank you. Thank you, DTM Shaji, and good evening, everyone. Inviting distinguished speakers, I mean, it's an open house. The whole idea of open house is to engage the people, engage the members, motivate the guest to join the Toastmasters, become aware of what is Toastmasters all about, and then make them join. When you have these sort of speakers coming here, distinguished speakers coming in the meetings and delivering the speeches, which will be in addition to the speeches and the meeting formats what we have in our clubs. This will further motivate them, the guest, who are somewhere in the fence sitters, some who are not sure about themselves, to see themselves in their shoes in the years to come. Such sort of stories are being told by these speakers, definitely, and with their skill, what they possess, they will be able to trigger that curiosity in them. They will be able to realize that they can make it happen if they join, and they will be able to fulfill their dreams. So motivating people, inspiring people, it will be a very good, it's a very good skill to possess. And it's, if you have those sort of speakers amongst the midst or from invited guests we have, it will be a nice thing to showcase in an open house. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmasters Sudhir. You rightly said, yeah, in Toastmasters, we develop our leadership and communication skills and developing that into great self-confidence. Thank you. And to audience, I just wanted to share with you all. If you have any questions, please share it in the chat box, and Toastmaster Hadi will be making a note of it, and we will answer those questions in the question and answer session later on. Thank you. Let's move on with our next question. That is to DTM Vinod. DTM Vinod, what do you say about themed open house based on seasonal celebrations? What is your opinion about that?
That is actually the core idea of Toastmasters. Every meeting that we have is a themed meeting. We have a TMOD, and a TMOD has a theme. The purpose of that theme is to make sure that the club indulges in that theme. But generally what we are seeing is a TMOD just comes, prepare, and just say something and go. But the purpose of themed meeting is the entire club indulges in that theme and be part of that theme. Same thing is for the open house. So if you are keeping, for example, back to school or something like what you say, back to work, whatever it is, themes you are keeping, travel theme, whatever it is, ensure that, and it's a good idea actually. Why? Because people will be wearing different attires, right? For themed meeting, for example, if you have a travel meeting, people will wear different attires. It will look good. So when the guest comes over there, they will feel positive vibes. Much more than if you go, like when I first went to a Toastmasters meeting, I saw everybody suited and booted, and I got scared actually. So it took me 10 years actually to join Toastmasters. But the first meeting that I entered, I saw everybody suited and booted. So when you have a theme meeting and it's a fun meeting, the guest will connect with you as people who want to have fun. So that's always a good idea, I believe, and that is the core idea of Toastmasters meeting. Most of, I think, in our district and all the Middle East district, whatever I have known, most of us have theme meetings. And the purpose itself is to ensure that whatever theme of that meeting is, the entire club indulges in that theme. So it's a fantastic idea, and I would encourage to think out of the box and create some theme meeting. I believe I had seen a theme meeting for a it was not for an open house, it was for actually a contest where it was Jungle Book or something, where people were wearing dress of bear, lion, and all these things. So it was fun meeting. So I believe it's a good idea. Always keep experimenting. It's uncomfortable thinking. So I like to be uncomfortable, and I would challenge all the Toastmasters to be uncomfortable with that. Thank you.
Thank you, DTM Vinod, sharing those information about theme open house sessions. And let's try with those unique options and thinking about on the season and developing those concepts into our Toastmaster club meetings. My next question is to Toastmaster Samir GP. What strategies can club use to follow up with potential new members after open house?
That's a great question, and the question that it is coming to me is pretty interesting, because I attended a TGI's meeting for the first time when I came to Dubai, and I loved the meeting. And I decided this is the club I'm going to join. And then I went to another club, which was the Burj, and then I ended up joining the Burj initially. And the only difference between these two clubs was how they followed up after the meeting was over. how the VP membership made me feel, the president of that club made me feel that we want you here. We would greatly be privileged to have you in this club. And I felt like I could add some value or I could learn something from there. So the reason why I joined was because I felt belonged already over there, even before joining. And this is a piece that a lot of clubs actually miss in effective following up and converting and having that conversation with them where you really communicate the desire to have that person in your journey of transformation. Because as VP membership or president or even club members, we benefit when others join us because we are getting more mirrors in our club who will reflect for us on how we are performing and how we are showing up in life. And therefore, having more interesting people come and join our club is a value to us and not only to them. And if we communicate this effectively, and if we have this as the ethos of the club, that is where conversions happen. And if we are losing out on people who have attended open houses and they don't join, most likely it's what we call the leaky buckets, right? You're letting potential candidates slip away simply because of not following up. We assume that once they have attended, they know everything, they've seen it's a great club, it's their responsibility to come to us and enroll. Not always. Perhaps they need a little nudge, they need a little push, they need a little of reassurance that we would really love to have you here with us. When we have interruptions like these, what happens is we'll have to deal with them. And as members, if we are not interrupting somebody's life when they come in to a meeting and then go away, it'll slip away from their mind and they will not come back. So following up is very, very essential before we can actually convert somebody into a member. Back to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster GP. Rightly mentioned, people are valuable assets, and based on their informations, a lot of members in the club will learn a lot, and it adds value to each and every member. Thank you. So let's move on. My next question is to Toastmaster Sudhir. Can you share tips for creating engaging and informative presentations during the open house meetings?
The club meetings, engaging, to keep it engaging, and this thing, what we need to do is, I feel it is you who have to blow the trumpet about your club. So you need to showcase what the club has achieved over the years. What makes this club special? What makes this club good for the people who come as a guest to join? What sort of the dreams they can fulfill, and how much of dreams has been fulfilled for the members who have been part of this club over the years. So these sort of showcasing these achievements, showcasing these feedbacks from members, and seeing to it that active members who are there have a engaging discussion with all these guests will motivate people to join this club. So this is something which we can do. How Toastmasters can help, how the club is special, how the leaders act for this club, how the members have achieved being part of this club. So those things will really help in giving that additional nudge for these members who want to join. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sudhir. Let's move on. My next question is to DTM Ramesh. How do you strike a balance between club traditions and welcoming newcomers at open house events? DTM Ramesh.
Well, that is a fantastic question, and that is quite interesting. Just a few minutes ago, DTM Vinod was talking about thematic meeting. That is what all about. When you are at your house, when you have a wedding, a marriage, or any other event, we invite guests, probably some of relatives, some of the relative, or other than the relatives also come and witness this event. when they see this, they find that something quite interesting happening. And they will definitely try to understand the culture, the structure that we celebrate that event, and they want to evolve in that and engage in that and entertained by the host. And all purpose of celebration is to entertain the host, entertain the guest. So we all celebrate that way. And having successful meeting like thematic definitely can make changes in the club level, particularly for the new makers to take a decision whether they should go for that marriage, they should do something like that, or they should go celebrate the way the birthday celebrated, or the event that they have witnessed. Because all this celebration that we do at home, definitely it's a structured way, whether it is what I said, the things. Similarly, all meetings are structured in a very good way. So a thematic meeting, and that theme is evolved by all the members who participate in that, and the club itself is being enjoyed. No wonder the guest will have a second thought. That's the right place that I have to be there, so that I can perform better than what they have done. If not after joining, immediately after joining, but within a couple of months, from the motivation that got from the seniors who were involved in that process of that type of kind thematic meetings. So definitely it helps a lot for having such kind of meeting for the clubs and to the new members to enjoy that event, understand and learn from those entertainment moments, to become one of those entertainers, the host, the club who had that open house, such a thematic open house. And once they become the member, they will try to unleash their potential. That is what all about. And we are seniors to see them groomed once they join us, and they take better place than we were adorning. So it is a give and take process. It has to be a give and take process. Like what I said, in the home, what we are celebrating, the birthday or marriage or any other function, similarly we celebrate in the Toastmasters meeting, and make celebration each and every meeting the theme or one the other way. In that particularly session that we hold in table topic itself, that can also bring in a lot of creativity, fun, and knowledge. And if that type of meeting is there, I'm sure all the guests will definitely enroll themselves to be the member. That I relate to that. So we have to strike a balance between maintaining the club tradition. Of course, we should not dilute the quality that we want to portray to the audience. It can happen if there is a seniors to lead them, and we'll get more members.
Yeah. Thank you, DTM Amish. It's rightly said, the first impression is the best impression. So any member who comes and sees, he takes a lot of information and he feels that it's very important that I should join and take up this journey in Toastmasters. Thank you so much. So let's move on with our next question, and that is to DTM Vinod. DTM Vinod, my question is, what impacts do open house events have on club membership growth? DTM Vinod.
It depends. If everybody or the members had put in effort and that experience was a good experience, they will carry forward that, like what you say, the positive feeling with them. I will give you two examples. There was an open house online where there were some 70 guests. Okay. After a week, I followed up because I was a part of that. Not even a single conversion had happened. Another, there was an advanced club which only had one guest, 4 role players from outside. And I was the speaker who was speaking about why Toastmasters. After the meeting, 3 of the outside Toastmasters from other clubs joined that. Now I'll ask you a question which was successful. Both were open houses. One had a huge number. Second, only had one guest and 3 role players from outside. All 3 of them joined that day. So what I want to highlight over here is quality and quantity. Okay, so just because you are having an open house does not mean that you call each and every one. DTM Mohammad Murad says this best: Toastmasters is not for everyone. Just like swimming is not for everyone, dancing is not for everyone. We think that everybody can. No, not everybody is ready to put in 6 to 8 hours of their life to improve themselves. Right? Because there is so much content available online today. If everybody was following that, the world would be full of slim and wealthy people. So we need people who are self-motivated. So we need to identify that may be it may be a challenging thing to do it initially, but at least make sure that you are calling right people. Every member just bring one friend. That itself is a big thing, because when you call somebody whom you know, they have seen you growing. Right? So they know that you are doing something that is right. So when you call that person, that itself is more than enough. Even if you have just 8 members in your club, you call 4 guests. That is more than enough. Right? So I believe this is what we need to do. Focus on what Aristotle used to call the median. Right? If you take any value like humor, if you are too humorous, you appear like a buffoon. If you are not humorous, you are stone-faced. So you need to find the right median in between. Many people in this part of the world want to improve. So that is one thing that we have an advantage. We all are expats over here. We are here to prove ourselves, or we want to do more. We want to get more out of our life. We want to be better. And that is exactly what our agendas are distributed as: better thinker, better speaker, better listener. Okay, so I don't think so it's a big challenge if there is the skill and will in the members to invite the guest.
Thank you, DTM. Thank you, DTM. It's a very valuable information that you shared. Yes, everyone doesn't have that self-motivation, and they don't know what is their level of taking up into the Toastmasters journey. But unless and until you come and see and attend and take up that, you will never come to know. So join the club meetings and improve yourself. Let's move on with our next question. That is to Toastmaster Samir GP. What are some creative ways to incorporate fun and networking opportunities into open house events? Toastmaster Samir.
That's a beautiful question. I'm going to write on what Vinod has just spoken about right now in terms of how are we inviting people. And one way, of course, is to be creative. And I was asking myself, how do we make sure that our open houses are successful? And one of the reasons is we might have a room full of 20, 30, 50 people who we have managed to stuff into a room for a meeting and thinking, wow, we have a great meeting. Or I think creativity can start from club leaders actually hosting an informal education session for their members on how to invite and who to invite. We are not even training our members on how we should invite members or prospects for a club open house meeting. A lot of members in our clubs, they come, they attend the meeting, they realize, oh, we are having an open house. Great, let's go and attend the open house. It's going to be great fun. The members of the club don't realize that every member in the club has a responsibility in making the open house successful. It's not the agenda of just the TMOD or just the president or just the VP membership or just the XCOM of the club. It is each and every member's responsibility in making an open house successful. But are we training our members to make it success? So I think one of the creative or innovative ways that club XCOMs can think of is having an informal session, or probably tapping into the most network person into the room, or having a one-to-one conversation with a few members in the club and asking, how big is your network? Do you have membership? They can actually probably have a Google form and ask, are you part of any other network? Which organization are you working in? Within your organization, are there people who are looking for constant growth and continuous growth? Would you like to have a brief introduction of how to invite members to this meeting? Where can you find potentials or prospects in your life who could be potential members of our club? How do you have conversations about your club when you meet a random stranger? And these are ways that if you can actually educate and train our own fellow members in how to have conversations with a prospect and how to bring up Toastmasters in a conversation. I think those are creative ways where by the time we have a room full of members trained on how to invite people for open houses, we'll have an open house which will be a reinforcement of what they went and spoke to the prospects before the meeting. And then the conversion will be so much more easier because you're asking them, hey, you said you wanted to improve, you wanted to grow in your careers. What did you think about this? Wasn't it fun? Wasn't it something very engaging? Was there something that you can share with us, your feedback, and then take some feedback from them and see what you can improve? And then they suddenly realize this is a beautiful community to be a part of. So I think if I were to give one answer for your question, it would be train our members in effectively inviting prospects for open houses.
Thank you, Toastmaster Samir. Very rightly said, it's individual responsibility so that all the members in the club feels that, yes, we need to add valuable members into our growth so that they also become part of it. Thank you for sharing that. Let's move on with our next question. That is to DTM Ramesh. DTM Ramesh, how can clubs tailor their open house meetings to cater to the needs and interest to their local communities?
Wow, that is the target we are looking for in open house. Let me recall, when I was part of District 79, we had few clubs in an area, 3 clubs only. So I have completed my CTM at that time. So, I took the challenge of the Toastmaster of that particular day. We had an open house conducted by the area, and it was attended by almost 170 individuals, including members and guests. There were about 60 plus guests attended. And I was the PMOD. What I took, I was part of airline. All of you know, I work with Emirates Airline. So I brought the theme of airline into my Toastmaster of the day. What I put across, how we can relate our profession into club with the Toastmasters meeting and make it enjoyable. And I brought that airline theme into my Toastmastering, linking, in aircraft, you get a lot of, I put our club as aircraft and the club number as aircraft, that flight number EQ321 like that. So I put club number and I gave the 3 segment that we have, 3 education segment we have: prepared speech, table topic and evaluation, the 3 courses of meal that you get in Emirates. You get welcome drink, first of all. Second, you get what you call a refreshment. Then main course of meal. Then you get sweet desserts, and then you get some sort of coffee. So what I linked is that refreshment is the beginning of the meeting and welcome drink and all. And the core lunch, the core meal is what the prepared speeches that we are going to serve. And the table topic was the dessert that you get. And the general evaluator was the engineer, the aircraft engineer who maintains our aircraft to have a fantastic flight over the air. So I linked that general evaluation as engineer, and other 2 are main chef, that Toastmaster of the day, that are main chef, and under that we serve this. And second chef was the table topic master, and the engineer was one of the general evaluators. And we had a fantastic meeting that, you may not believe, we had started 2 clubs in same area. That is thematic meeting we had. So having a tailor-made meeting definitely can make a very good open house, and members can feel that there is something creativity that we can bring into it. Why not? Let me join the club. So always a tailor-made meeting definitely can make it. And I request our district leadership to inculcate this type of thematic meeting between the clubs also, whether the regular meeting or open house, so that the members feel that there is a place, there is something that we can do out of the box from the Toastmasters to bring creativity into it. So definitely it can cater the needs of interest of the local community or any target audience that we do during the open house. What is in it is most important, and how we can develop ourselves will show them. That will be definitely a decision-making point. So I would request our team, CGT teams, to take this forward to all the area and club levels to come with thematic meetings and invite more guests.
Thank you, DTM Ramesh. Beautifully put forward with the thematic message, like how to have the Emirates, the refreshments and the main meal, and how you incorporated with the Toastmasters presentations, how the club session is conducted, and then the result was 2 clubs which you have formed very well. Thank you. So let's have those kind of thematic open houses to have more clubs. And let's move on with our next question. That is to Toastmaster Sudhir. What challenges might arise when organizing open house meetings, and how can they be effectively addressed? Toastmaster Sudhir.
As what we heard, what is the bottom line? What do we want to have out of this open house? So we need to spread awareness about our club. We need to spread awareness about the Toastmasters, the benefits of Toastmasters, how it can transform people. That's a message we want to convey, and that's the message we want to get embedded into people's mind, and then convert them into members, and then they progress. So that's the bottom line. So for this, the challenges, it can be several types of challenges we could happen, and the only thing is it has to be addressed right from beginning. So it always successful open house starts right from the beginning, planning stage itself. How well it's planned, as what we have listened to so many good comments about having a good theme, having an engaging meeting, bringing a good speaker, and those sort of, so these are the challenges. We need to see to it that these things are all well planned ahead, involvement of the entire team, and then start execution. The meeting should be engaging. People who have come over there should realize there is a value in this, joining this club or the Toastmasters. So the execution is where the planning is very important. Implementation during the meeting, we need to see it that benefits are driven into the minds of the guest, which gets transformed into members. And then similarly, as we had listened about 2 clubs where they had a 70 guest, and then in another club we had only 1 guest. So how the conversion happened? So that is again follow up and getting the members, becoming them in members. So these are, it's a right from beginning planning, before the meeting, during the meeting execution, and then follow up. So these are the entire 3-phase challenges we can face. If any of these falters, if planning is done well, execution is not done well, the open house will fail. But if the feedback is also not done, in case of feedback is the one which is missed out, follow up is missed out, again the open house will fail. So it's not a single sort of challenge. These are the various fold challenges which can experience. So it's a packaged one. The entire team has to get along, and they have to understand what is an open house all about. So open house, some clubs may just have some 5 members, have an open house, show an open house, and register them, and then get the open house. That's not the open house. That's what is driving down into. People have started realizing that is what open house is all about. Open house is all about registering 5 members. No, but open house is all about telling what is the club is all about, what is Toastmasters all about, drive down the benefit to members, and then transform them. So that's the important thing. So challenges starts from planning, monitoring, execution, and feedback, follow up on those things, and converting them. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmasters. Very rightly said. What I have seen is people forget to do the marketing promotional activities on the open houses when they are conducting it, and the other part is follow up on the guests, those who have attended. That follow up also goes, sometimes not done in the right way. So yes, very rightly said. We need to. These are the challenges that we should personally take it up and move ahead. Let's go ahead with the next question. That is to Toastmaster Samir. Share some examples of successful marketing and promotional strategies, especially the role of social media and online platforms in promoting open house events. Toastmaster Samir.
So when it comes to open house, like I said earlier, a huge part of the success of an open house is when you market it effectively. And if we are asking ourselves what is the key outcome or what is it that you want a prospect to come and experience, you want them to have a rich experience. Social media has created so much of opportunity that making a flyer, getting photographs, putting up all of those has become so much more easier these days. Canva has made making flyers so easy. We can create a template flyer and then we can create 10 of them with different photographs. I have done meetings and I've seen meetings where for a single open house, you would have 5, 10, 15 flyers come out. Each one is a teaser, each one is giving more information, each one is inviting people. You're not repeating the same flyer, saying the same message over and over again. You're making some element of the flyer interesting and intriguing by revealing perhaps one information about the TMOD, one information about a role player, another information about another role player, another tidbit about, so it depends on what the theme that you choose also. And if you choose something like, for example, I remember a meeting theme was failure. I remember personally, I had done a themed meeting which was called Failure is Awesome. And in that, what I did was I connected with the members of the club and asked each one to share a failure in their life. And then I wrote that as a snippet on the flyer and put their photograph. And I had 10 people approximately who had shared their failures. I made that into a poster and then I shot that out. So by the time everyone was seeing these flyers, they were hyped up and excited about what's going to show up. If so much of information has already been delivered on a flyer, what more could be said in a meeting? And that is the kind of enthusiasm that you can build up. So now there are youngsters who are coming into our clubs who are really adept with reels and short forms of videos and making really interesting videos. You can leverage on that. It depends on what the theme is. TGI has recently conducted a theme meeting where the theme of the open house meeting was dance in the rain. And the meeting was completely about music and dance. And we had so much of fun in our open house. Everyone was dancing. The TMOD was dancing. We made everyone stand up and dance. And there was singing, there was music, there was guitar. So anyone who walked into that, we converted actually a couple of people who joined in for our meetings into members after that open house meeting. And that happened, and we had more guests than members that day during the open house as well. So creativity has no limits. It depends on bring the skills of your club members and use it to your hilt, use it to your advantage. See what skills are there within the members and showcase them. Use open house and a showcase event for the talent that is within the clubs, I would say.
Thank you, Toastmaster Samir. Yeah, very rightly said. People have different talents. The youngsters, especially, they are very good in the social media campaigns and to address that issues if senior members are not capable of doing it. So we should understand that and give them those opportunities, and they develop themselves as well as the club activities and get more members into it. So my next question is to DTM Vinod. How can club evaluate the impact and success of open house meetings and make improvements for future collaborations?
That's a very simple question, because I'm someone who looks into metrics every day. Being a head of sales and leading a sales team, I only look at metrics. And that is one of my key jobs. So that is what I had asked yesterday to our DTM, Dr. Abdul Sattar, CGD, that what is it that you want as an outcome from this session? So the same question will be for the club president and the club ExCom. What is it that you want from this particular open house? 3 members, 4 members, what is it? Or 25 guests? Be very crystal clear and measure it, because there is nothing. Numbers don't lie usually, right? We say numbers don't lie. So if you are measuring from with that, it's a good thing. Now, being a debater, I love to look at the other side also. Okay. Forget about all the theme meetings. Forget about all the singing and dancing. Just focus on introducing Toastmasters to non-Toastmasters. Okay, that is one thing. Second is make the guest experience the club hands-on, involve them in the meeting in some topic or something, tell them the benefit of Toastmasters, share with them, and introduce the pathways curriculum. And tell them that when you join, you get one path free. So it is like you are getting one subject completely free for the next whatever you want to do. This basic thing itself would be more than enough. Because personally, if I think of myself, if I walk into a room where I want to improve myself, we have I would not use the word BS meter, something else that we can sense what is happening in this room. Is it more exaggeration or something, or is there real quality? So the basic thing I would like to say is keep the main thing the main thing. The main thing is education. And over the last few years, I have been having debates with few of the key officers, district officers, and all this thing. Don't make Toastmasters a social club. This is not a place to socialize. This is a place where you come to empower and change lives. Entertainment is a part of it. Dr. Ralph Sismedley rightly said that you learn when you have fun. But when fun becomes an agenda, then learning goes out of the window. So one thing you should always remember, that learning is the key. Even if there is no fun, I would prefer to go into an environment where I am learning something, where I get proper evaluation, where I am challenged in a table topic, where I get a good mentor. So I think these are the core things that every club should think before they are entering into open house or whatever they want. And to make sure that whatever Toastmaster Samir said, I think it is more than enough if that is done. And I will give you one more view. Think of this, where can you use this real life skill? If the president is the CEO and the VP membership is the marketing officer, think of this as a campaign that you are doing for your product and service. Okay, how are you going to measure the success of this? Definitely by the numbers. Okay, so think of it in that way, that I have a product, I am an entrepreneur, this is my team, we are launching a product or service, and this will be successful if we get 4, 5, 6 members. So if you think of that way, it will really transfer into your real life also. So that is what the part of Toastmaster is. Whatever you learn here, you have to take it out of Toastmasters. So the numbers never don't lie. Use very simple metrics to measure it.
Thank you, DTM. Very rightly said. We are into a learning platform. It's not a social gathering that we should not be promoting it as a social gathering. It's where people develop their skills and become the great leaders and communicators in the society. And the same thing, they become the mentors, and they share the same values to the other people around. So my next question is to DTM Ramesh. How do you involve club members in the planning and execution of open house and combined meetings? You're muted. You're muted.
Well, in any club, members is the paramount important ingredient. Even in Toastmaster International, value the members, then come the leaders. And involving club success is always linked with involving each and every individual member, irrespective of their qualification, quality, and all, because all are here to improve. Unless you give them an opportunity within the club, you are not. That is not the real place they are supposed to be otherwise. So involving them in each and every planning and empower them, those who want to take initiation, first of all. If nobody is there, let the leaders of ExCom take initiation to create a group who can run the open house and make them understand what is the purpose of having open club is to bring in new members and give them the benefit of improving the way they have developed themselves. So involving them, members is most important. And today I happened to visit one of the clubs, and it was almost a died club. We resurrected, again it died, again came back. Now they are in the process of sustaining. They have simply asked me, sir, we want to make an open house. How can we do that? So I simply told them, how many members you have? They told me 22 members. Nothing to worry, just request them, bring one each one. Bring one each one. So 22 members plus equal 22, you get 44 members for the meeting. Create that meeting fantastic open house. At least you get 5, 10 members out of that 22. That is enough. That is worth rewarding your effort. And how we can make it? You create a committee for that, first of all, to run this special event. Because in every club, I think, in the beginning itself, the club excom sits down and they charter their plan of action for 1 year. In that, one core, that is what we used to do. One core factor is to create a social event. May it be taking all the family members go for a tour, or bringing a social event like open house. So create that target, assign one individual, give him the empowerment to conduct that with all the support and logistic that also we needed. So each member get empowered, involving them each and every process of that open house will make it successful, and member feel important when they got opportunity to display their qualities inherited to conduct such a fantastic session. So I think member involvement is more important, and club definitely will focus on that, no doubt about it. How much we encourage them to come forward to take up such leading role and bring others into this fraternity, and make them also grow like good communicators and leaders. That is paramount.
Thank you, DTM Ramesh. Very rightly said. Even I joined Toastmasters after seeing one of the open houses, and I was invited. I was just sitting in one of the corners and listening to what is happening. So then I continued my Toastmasters journey. Very rightly said. Thank you. Let's move on with our next question. What are the key reasons for Toastmasters clubs to consider hosting combined meetings with other clubs? Toastmasters Sudhir.
Combined meetings, it will any meeting, any member, new member, or a recently joined member, he or she will get to see how a senior Toastmaster is performing their roles, delivering a speech, evaluation, everything. They'll get to see it over a period of time. They get to see the same thing happening, the same members doing the same role, so they get into that same rut. So, but once you have this combined meetings, it's not only you get it in a different flavor, you start seeing something new. You start seeing how a evaluation is being done, and differently, how a speech is being delivered, how a meeting is being conducted, how a table topic is being. So once these sort of new ideas comes in, once these combined meetings, and plus it starts form as networking. When it starts networking, you start meeting new people, and then you start interacting, you start visiting various clubs. It's all about getting this network, getting this friendship going on. So you get to see different aspects of doing a certain thing in a different way, and that gives ideas. So that makes people start finding interesting in the meeting. Otherwise, you get to go to the same meeting, you get to the same people delivering the same style of the speeches, evaluation, but when you see a different flavor coming in, that really gives that the curiosity in people to attend those meetings. The curiosity comes in. Otherwise, monotony sets in. So it's always a good idea to have an periodical combined meetings. Either best is nothing replace a physical meeting. Physical meeting always gives the best benefit. If not for the physical, at least for the hybrid meetings, it would serve its purpose. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmasters Sudhir. My next question is to DTM Vinod. Can you share some examples of successful combined meetings that you have been part of for that organized or you have organized it?
My home club is DSO Toastmasters, and we have this tradition since last 5 years. Burj Toastmasters and DSO Toastmasters, they both keep combined meetings, and it's almost the 5th year. This year also it happened. So what happens is the best of both the clubs, the best speakers and all come, and there is a sense of like what you say, we want to show our club is good. That feeling is there, and extra preparation is there, and it's very visible in both the clubs. In fact, I still remember when DTM Harish was president and DTM Anuradha of Burj, even the presidential address, they wanted to practice for more than 1 hour, right? Because there are two presidents, they wanted to sync each and every sentence. So there was a lot of curiosity. So that is one thing. The other, which I would say is, we had a trilingual Gavels club. We started DTM Vinod Metamil is like what is, he is someone who has done all the bilingual clubs over here. And we had conducted this English, Hindi and Malayalam. And it was in a big hotel, and many parents came, it was attended, even though it was not Toastmaster, it's Gavel Club is different. But I felt that was a huge success because parents saw something unbelievable. Like there are 3 different speeches. One kid is coming and speaking in Hindi, one is coming and speaking in English. We also did this for 2 other language clubs. So it was a good thing, English and like Hindi. So I believe there is a sense of excitement when there is dual means combined meeting. The second thing and the practical thing is there are 2 vacations that happen in this country, school vacations, and 1 million people are not there during those times. So you need members, right? So it's a practical thing. The practicality is we need members. So during July and August, half of the club members are on vacation. Same thing will happen in December. So whenever the December meetings, you can plan now that when the members are not there, what can we do? We can have a joint meeting with 1 club, 2 club, 3 club, whatever you want. So that whenever the meeting is happening, I'll give you one more example. Once we had a meeting and we had some 6 guests. And the meeting was amazing. The guests were clapping everything. But then the guest got up at the end and said, I can't believe this is so amazing, but why there are so less people? Right? So when there are when you don't see much people, the guests also start questioning themselves. If this is so amazing, why are so many few people coming in? Why it is not that everybody is coming here, 20, 30, 40, 50 or 60 people are not there. So the 2 things, one is it gives a sense of excitement if you are having with other club. And the second is for practical reason. There are 2 vacations, 2 big vacations, school vacations, when majority of our club members will not be here. So for affordability, it is a good thing. And for the speakers also, it's a good thing, I believe. Back to you.
Thank you, DTM Vinod. Very rightly said. Even when DTM Sri Kumar Pai, when he first asked me, why don't you join Toastmasters? Then my first reaction was, it's not my cup of tea. So you rightly put it, why people are not there in such gatherings is a big question mark. Thank you. Let's move on with our next question. That is to Toastmaster Sudhir. What are the logical considerations when planning combined meetings, such as venue selection? Would you recommend online, hybrid, or physical meetings? Toastmaster Sudhir.
Anytime it's going to be a physical meeting. Nothing can replace a physical meeting. But that, of course, when a combined meeting that has got its limitations, the clubs nearby, the adjacent area can have a combined meeting. But in case if the club is not in the nearby areas, in the far away, so that we can utilize it as a hybrid meeting. We can combine it, we can make it as a hybrid meeting or an online meeting. But the essence of these meetings should be to see that you get the best, you get to see the best, you get to see the best practices from either side, and then try to implement them into your club and create that energy, recreate that energy back in your club. So this should be the whole idea. Nothing to replace a physical meeting. That should be the first priority. But in case the club is far away and it's something which you can time difference is there. So on all those things, we can have it as an hybrid and online meeting. But essence is to get the best practices, get to know more people, and then implement those good practices in your club, revive the energy back. So that should be and which will in turn bring in more energy, more participation, and more members into the club. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sudhir. Yes, physical meetings give a lot of opportunities to meet and greet, and in person deliveries, makes more connected with each other. Let's move on with the next question. That is to Toastmaster Samir. What strategies can club use to foster sense of camaraderie and collaboration among members during combined meetings? Toastmaster Samir. You're muted.
Specifically to combined meetings, camaraderie is about, first of all, having an agreement. There's going to be a lot of guests, and we are not going to push our club or your club to the guest and say, you should join our club. And it becomes a sense of competition sometimes when you have a combined meeting and there are a lot of impressive speakers. So it's about establishing that trust, number one, in terms of how we proceed after a combined meeting, and there are a lot of guests who have attended that meeting. Apart from that, it's about relationships. I like what Sudhir was mentioning, which is about creating the opportunities. Think of someone who has just joined Toastmasters for the very first time, and all he's attending is his own club meetings, and he is not aware of the more than 100 clubs that are existing out there just in the city that he is in. And then suddenly he attends another meeting, and then suddenly his eyes will widen up and he'll be like, wow, why didn't I know about this club before? I didn't know that I'm able to join and attend meetings of other clubs as well. And you just widen their horizon, because when they join Toastmasters, most of them, all they are aware of is, I have 2 meetings a month in my home club, and these happen on every Monday or Wednesday or Tuesday, whatever that is. And suddenly you realize that there are clubs which have meetings on different days. And it depends where each person is in their journey of personal growth. I was fortunate that within a few months of joining Toastmasters, I went for an international convention, and it just blew my mind away to understand and realize the scope and breadth of what Toastmasters is. I was just like Vinod. I walked into a Toastmaster club. I realized this is not for me. And then it took me another 12 years before I joined Toastmasters. So it's about creating those experiences. And also, I was thinking while we are having all this conversation, I was asking, what is the difference between an open house meeting and a regular meeting? Because we are always inviting people to join our meetings. So why should an open house be any different from? So what is the principal difference between an open house or a combined meeting and a regular meeting? And if we have these clear distinctions in our head as leaders who are leading a team of members, then we'll have the right kind of conversations with our members in terms of what is the purpose of this. And I think this must really be communicated effectively to our members, because not everybody has our context. Not everybody has the intentions of why these are all happening. And if we have these strategic conversations, then we start realizing open houses or combined meetings. Open houses, I think, like what Vinod was saying, is like a sales meeting. It's a sales opportunity or a marketing opportunity for the club. Combined meeting, whereas, is not a marketing opportunity. It is more a learning opportunity. It's a learning opportunity to look at other styles. And if we realize the key distinction between these two, then we'll approach them. We'll encourage our members also not to miss these meetings. And we'll also make it a showcase meeting so that we can learn from different styles. So usually when you have combined meetings, one speaker from one club would be evaluated by another speaker from another club. That is how you balance it, so that you get to see different styles rather than the same members being speak. But after that, camaraderie is really built when you follow up and you have these conversations and relations after the meeting. I always say the true learning piece, the way we really grow is not during meetings, but it's between meetings. Because during meetings, you're only showcasing. The learning really happens and the preparation really happens between meetings. What we are doing between those meetings when we are preparing for the showcase. Back to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Samir. Very well said. It's these sessions are like sales and marketing presentations. So how we take it up and present it well, it add more people. But combined sessions, definitely, it's a different ball game. And we are coming out of our comfort zones and meeting new people and presenting it, and their dimensions are completely different. So gathering together with different clubs always opens up our mind. Thank you. Let's move on with our next question, that is to DTM Ramesh. How can clubs evaluate the success of their open house and combined meetings and make improvements for the future? DTM Ramesh.
Excellent question, excellent question. All we said about is now to be getting rewarded. DTM Vinod Panikkar has already explained that the two event where there are around 70 plus members, guests participated, none of them become members. Where there are one guest and 3 other members joined the club. That speaks volume of becoming a successful open house meeting. Now, having said that, was that 70 member a failure? The clubhouse open house was not a failure. Most likely, they must have joined in one or the other clubs. It's not mandatory that they must join the club who is having the open house. But having said that, bringing the Toastmasters into that social gathering, informing them about there is a club existing, there is a platform existing to unleash such potential, that is more important. Maybe they may join our club, maybe another club, but there will be a seed that you are putting, sowing into their mind. One or the other day, like now DTM Vinod has joined after 10 years, after hearing Toastmasters Club. Why? Because the seed sown before 10 years was still growing inside in him to become a very good speaker, something that he needed to become. And ultimately joined and he became what he wanted to be. So similarly, open house never will be a failure. You are giving the seed that individual can still grow, still become a good speaker, good communicator, that will be successful. Now, measuring the successful is in the terms of enrolling the membership. I think personally, I will not agree to that, but the message went across is most important for organizing this open house. Now, coming back to the combined meeting, I truly promote that combined meeting, particularly when I was club leader, I interacted with many clubs to become combined meeting. When I became area director, I made sure I had about 7 clubs within my area when I became area director, and 2 clubs are weak clubs. I make sure that that weak club will not die or sustain any deficiency. I made sure if they have any problem with conducting meeting, I called all the, including the TGIS was part of our area, this thing, and we made sure that we have strong clubs and weak clubs gel together to conduct a meeting, which is where the networking and camaraderie take place, and understanding members of Toastmasters fraternity very well. Similarly, when I became division director, my prime aim was to understand the dying clubs or low member clubs where they struggle to conduct meeting, link with them, the best clubs out of the area division what we have, and link with them for conducting joint meeting. Then what is happening is they get good support from that strong clubs. They feel that they should do something. They will go out of the way to conduct their meeting, make the club successful. That was my primary focus, having joint meeting, to make the weaker club sustainable towards the next term or further by understanding the value or camaraderie brought from the strongest club. So basically what I evaluate is there is no failure open house. Whatever you do for the community, you are still seeing the seed, sowing the seed of the goodness that you can give to the society. And conducting a combined meeting, I always go for that. Whenever any club feel that, that what you call redundancy of the meeting or continuous same style of meeting, joint meeting is always better. And it is a very good networking to understand each other as Toastmasters, as individuals. And one more important thing that I need, the 70 member, it were because we were having online meeting. Had that been in a face-to-face meeting, at least 30 to 35 members would have joined and created an extra club. I am sure about it. Why? I will tell you. Last week ago, I attended one open house conducted by one of the clubs, which our club board director was also there. He gave a 2 minutes, 3 minutes speech there. Further to that, I took forward that speech. And that particular club had about 16 members, 50 guests. And most of them, around 8 or 9 of them were youngsters, 18, 19, 20 years. They just graduated, came to Dubai looking for jobs. Some of them got job, looking for their career development. They came here to understand what they can do for themselves. Believe it or not, after that particular open house and after the presentation that we give, after the speech of Dr. Abdul Sattar, when we put all together to that as a shape, what you can get from Toastmasters, what you are expecting, what is in it for you, this is the right forum that you must come forward. Your future is bright, you are young. That message really went across. You may not believe 6 of them enrolled on that day to that particular club. It already has 32 members. 6 added 38 members, they already got within that week.
Thank
I
you.
don't know whether to tell that club name is here prudent, I don't know. But DTM or CGD knows that particular club where we attended, and it is a remarkable success. And that was a simple meeting. And it was, as I told you, it attracted the youngsters that it is their field that they should indulge in. So there is no failure when you conduct an open house. Always indulge that. I appreciate for that effort, and I thank Club Growth Direct team once again for coming up with such a concept and try to inculcate it, because it is need of the time, need of the hour that we should enhance not only the membership in Toastmaster, but the spread, the awareness of that individual can learn and grow.
Thank you, DTM Ramesh. You have very well summarized the whole conversation what we had till now, and you covered up all the aspects, even sharing the experiences what you had very recently. So I think our panelists have shared their past experiences, which is very, very valuable for each and every member who has attended today. I don't have any further questions, so let's conclude it here. And thank you so much, each panelist, DTM Samir, DTM Vinod, DTM Ramesh, and Toastmaster Sudhir for giving your valuable information and sharing all that to our audience today. Thank you so much. Now let us have our question and answer session. Toastmaster Hadi will take over. And Toastmaster Hadi, he joined Toastmasters from 2016, and he is the president of Toastmasters Toastmaster Club, and he is a VP membership of Sharjah Toastmasters Club, and he as a professional mechanical engineer. Let us invite Toastmaster Hadi to conduct the question and answer session. Toastmaster Hadi.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shaji. Thank you all panelists, and thank you the 21 participants we have. Yes, now it's time for us to ask questions to our panelists, their experience and their skills and their background in their respective professions can tell us a lot about conducting open houses. So let me begin with the first question. So I won't be asking for any panelist name. I would request you to come forward, any one of the 4 panelists, and answer the question. First question is from Hema. She has this question through the chat. Language clubs are suffering with dip in membership and engagement of past members. Any suggestions on how to overcome this hurdle? Over to you. Please, Vinod Panikar, please go ahead.
Thank you, Hadi, and thank you, Ramesh sir, because he would also be having a lot of valuable suggestion. I feel that I am a credible person to answer this, and I will tell you why. DTM Vinod Metamil had started 2 language clubs. That was Hindi, Bollywood Toastmasters, and Tejas, Malayalam. And I was the president of Tejas in the 2nd year. And my Malayalam is not very good, but more than Malayalam, I love Toastmasters. Means my love is towards the program more than to the language. And DTM Ramesh knows this because I used to tell this always. So what happened during the 2nd year was, we used to get a lot of guests. But after the meeting, everybody used to just clap and go. And the murmur sounds what used to be there was, we want to improve our English. We know our language. Why would I come and speak in Malayalam? The same thing in Hindi. One thing that I stuck to was the program. I made sure that we conduct even a language program as professionally and as thoroughly even if we had less members, just like what the Toastmaster programs say. Okay. There was a contest where we only had 4 participants, 7 judges. Even the club senior members were laughing at me. Why are you doing that? But 2 of the members from that club, DTM Nisha Verghese and myself, reached DTAC that year. And from the other year, the club's complete face changed. It became like we won a debate competition and we reached DTAC. So people started celebrating it. People wanted to know what is happening in that club. And we had some amazing members in that club. Amazing members. And it is same with all the language clubs, because to start and run a language club, it needs a lot of passion towards the language. Right? So why is that club started? Have a session to highlight the value of that language and the culture for 15 minutes for every meeting. Have a book review for 5 minutes or 3 minutes in that particular language, and have proper English speeches and that speeches, and have evaluation as you have. When people see quality, they will come. That was my experience. And you will not believe, 25 meetings, people were making fun of me because my Malayalam was not very good. But I said, I have taken a responsibility and I will do it no matter what. 2 things I was very clear. I will not make it a social gathering. Second, people who come here, I will ensure that every member gets value for money. So once that is clear in your head, that whoever comes, I am delivering value for money with good evaluation, prepared speeches. Now, what I have been seeing in many language club over here is they are more becoming a socializing event. They just want to show that they know this language, they speak something and go. But believe me, if you put effort in writing your speech, getting it mentored, delivering it properly, being evaluated by a good Toastmasters, people will come. That was my experience that I just wanted to show. That's why immediately I chipped in. So I think language clubs are the future. Means we have not even touched the surface of gold mine what we are in Middle East. I believe there can be 100 Arabic club in this part of the world, and we have not done anything for that. Maybe very little. So even Hindi, Malayalam, English, Tamil, Philip, whatever it is, you need passionate members to do that. And I believe we are passionate members, but just be a little bit more passionate towards the language as well as the structure. But even now I say I love the program more than the language. And I kept repeating that. Like many people are there because they love the language more. But I always say, no, I love the program more. It's a 100-year-old proven program which will deliver result. It has changed my life. It has the power to change everyone's life if you are willing to put the effort in that. Thank you, and back to you.
Thank you,
Good.
DTM Vinod
Toastmaster
Panikkar.
Arti,
Yes,
I
DTM
I would like
Ramesh
to add
Menon.
few things
Please.
to DTM Vinod. The language club holders, my humble request, understand the importance of the language itself. First, give the priority for the language, but make sure do not insist on that particular language itself. Give an opportunity to speak in English. Okay, they want to indulge in the language, fine, but give them the opportunity to speak in English, evaluate the speech in English. So make it as a mixed language club where you can give the opportunity to members or bring a guest speaker in different language, keeping that language club status itself. I will tell you where the DTM Vinod was part of the Tejas Malayalam, the first Malayalam club in UAE. When we opened it, it was a fantastic club. Everything was going well, but all of a sudden there was member stagnancy. So we managed, and with the DTM, the Malayalam, he is also from Kerala, but he doesn't speak good Malayalam. But with him become the president, he transformed the club into a different dimension. Now that club is soaring like one of the best clubs in this district. Similarly, I have also experience in Jeddah. When we started very first Malayalam club in Jeddah, Malayalam Toastmasters, with the experience of the members who bought, they created 2 other clubs. One is Ladies Club, Jeddah Elite Ladies Club, because of the inspiration from the language club. So it all depends on how important give the importance to the language as well as English as opportunity for them to come and speak. Many native speakers want to express in their language, supported with the English, because they also want to groom in English, but they are very afraid of their grammatical errors and all to present in audience. So this language give confidence. Once they have proven confidence in that particular language, it is easy for them to indulge in English speaking. That is what the growth of Tejas Toastmasters Club members. And that is what actually even DTM Vinod was just mentioning about the success. So my humble request to the language club member, bring in more culture as well as value to that individuals. I'm sure they will succeed.
Thank you, DTM Ramesh Menon. The Toastmaster Hem asked for a flower and you gave a garden. Fantastic. So what I understand from this, love of the language should be communicated in the open house. We are relating to the theme of the meeting, and we will stand on the foundation of Toastmasters programs, quality and structure. So it will attract and retain the members. Is there anything you can add on, Toastmaster Sudhir and Toastmaster Samir, onto this?
Yeah, I agree with DTM Vinod and what DTM Ramesh has said. But my point is that when we say language club, people join the club for the liking what they have into the language, and people who are unable to communicate in their own language, like speak in their own language. They may be able to colloquially, they can talk to each other, but then to deliver a speech in the local language, that is something which everybody likes to possess that talent. So like me, I will not be able to communicate in Malayalam. I know Malayalam, but I will not be able to communicate to talk. So that is one thing. People who join this club is to see that they improve themselves in that aspect. Because if you have to improve yourself in English language, in your language skills and those English language, that other clubs are there. But when it comes to language club, this is the reason why they join. So I think those needs have to be addressed. So if that gets diluted, that importance gets diluted, and it's more of an English club, then English speaking club, then people will realize what is the whole idea of coming to this club, and might as well join another club where it will be much better. So that's the feedback which I have.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sudhir. And yes, Samir GP, I will ask you another question asked by Vijay, because we have only 2 to 3 minutes for our Q&A session. So how can a motivated new Toastmaster member effectively navigate the challenges posed by our current module? He's saying that they have a limited number of meetings and there's a lengthy queue of participation. So he's asking us, not related to our theme, but he's asking how to manage this challenge. Question to Toastmaster Samir GP.
To answer that question, I think I will go back to my own initial days of being part of Toastmasters. I would have been a reluctant member where I would have stuck to my club and I would have looked for speaking slots and waited to get comfortable over there. And then by weird coincidence or chance, I don't know what happened, but I won the club table topics contest. And after that, what happened was, because I wanted to win at the area and the number of opportunities I had to speak at the club level was limited to, I started going to every other club meeting and volunteering for table topics. And that changed my life. I realized going out and speaking in other clubs, and table topics is, you can go to every club and you can volunteer for it, and you will get an opportunity to speak for table topics, even if it is not prepared speech. Just taking that route, you don't have to win your club contest to go and take part in other clubs' table topic. Going and doing that alone will create more opportunities, because clubs will ask you, you can ask, can I have a speaking slot in your next, or if you have a dropout, can I speak at your club? The way to accelerate is only to volunteer yourself. So I don't think we can actually motivate anyone. It has to come from deep inside. And I think if Vijay is really inspired or motivated to accelerate his journey, then all he has to do is reach out to other clubs, volunteer for roles, volunteer for speaking opportunities, and he will accelerate. And I just wanted to add to the whole conversation we had before very quickly. What I was thinking was, when you're talking about language clubs, I was thinking English is also a language, right? We're thinking about it in Malayalam and other. So language is not the problem. If the language clubs are suffering, it's not, it's how you're leading, it's how you're selling the program, it's how you're conducting the meetings, it's how you're inspiring. It's an opportunity for leadership to go and revisit what's not working and to work on that. The program not working is not the problem of it being a language club. That is not the problem to be solving. The problem to be solving is where in the leadership, because even in a successful club, they go through curves and ups and downs. And the only reason for that is because of how the leadership is taking the club meeting agenda and setting the whole motion in place. That's my take. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster SMEGP. Yes, now I am unmuted. Now we have many questions from the audience. So you can ask in the chat and you can get in touch with CGD team to answer your questions. Now I'm going to hand over the virtual stage to a person. She just wanted to better herself when she joined Toastmasters, but Toastmasters ended up being her family. She's a doctor. She's a physician by profession, and since 15 years, she's in Dubai. And from 2017, she is our family member, a Toastmaster from 2017. And now she is Assistant Club Growth Director of District 127. Toastmasters and leaders, let's put our hands together to welcome Dr. DTM Muniba onto the stage.
Thank you, Toastmaster Hadi, for that warm welcome. I'm honored as the Assistant CGD and Extension Chair to do the vote of thanks for today. I'm so happy here. I feel so welcome here. Our discussions today have been so candid, so colorful, yet constructive. Was it a wave of the wand or the rub on a magic lamp? Magic was unleashed today in District 127 by this gang. A marvelous round of applause for our panelists of senior Toastmasters. The wise DTM Ramesh Menon, the brainy DTM Vinod Panikar, the enigmatic Toastmaster Samir GP, and the astute Toastmaster Sudhir Kunnath. You definitely gave us a deeper insight about how to conduct open houses and combined meetings and how we all can benefit. As a Chinese proverb says, a single conversation with a wise man is worth a month's study of books. We have been blessed to have such great persons on board today. A battalion of men, I should say. Happy to host you and have you with us. Our Sergeant at Arms, Timer, Toastmaster Nida, I'm happy that her exciting energy and enthusiasm could be ours today to open our workshop and to time it until the closure. Thank you. And this event was no less than a captivating doku soup, guided so well by this prudent and passionate panel moderator, DTM Shaji. He took the reins to his hands. A big round of applause. And an engaging and excellent question answer session by Toastmaster Hadi. Asking questions can be easy. You all made us feel answering them are even easier. Well-conducted rational discussion by reasonable men. Thank you. And thank you for helping us out in Zoom too. Audience, you definitely make the show, of course. But when connecting on screen, we need bigger brains. Though our Zoom master couldn't join on time, we had our tech-savvy, dashing and handsome DTM Dr. Abdul Sattar, our CGD as the Zoom master, and Toastmaster Hadi to assist him. Thank you, both of you. It was a reflection of teamwork today. Bravo. Finally, I take the honor to thank our mega mind of today's show, our CGD, our charismatic, our glamorous, our diabolical genius, DTM Dr. Abdul Sattar, who has taken his time to organize this event. When delegating, give away the power along with the job. Well, I don't think I'll ever come across a leader like you. Salute you. Thank you so much. And esteemed Toastmasters, you all showed up with undying passion and spirits. As DTM Vinod Panikar mentioned earlier, the quality matters, not the quantity. We have come to the end of our workshop. So let's give a quick hand for those brave souls who were here to educate us. And my magical and lovely audience. Without you, there is no show at all. So let's fill the screen with love. Give us hearts and applauses if you loved our session. Thank you. Signing off. Thank you to all.